Well, everyone, iOS 16.1 has officially came out, so we can go and take a look at it on the iPhone 11. Now, I've been rocking the betas on all my iPhones for a long period of time now, and I'm glad it is in an official state. Now, if we take a look at the release log, you'll kind of get an idea of what we're rocking with. Now, as you can see, I must have not been able to screenshot it in time, which is very, very embarrassing. But if we look at it on a different iPhone that I have, it basically came out to, 4 or 5 gigabytes coming from a beta. But do keep in mind, if you're coming from 16.0.3, it's going to be a little bit of a different story. You can see right here, it basically tells us this update introduces iCloud shared photo library and a few other options as well, which we'll kind of talk about at a high level. But I will tell you, it's a pretty decent update, but I'll tell you at the end whether you should update or not, to be honest. Now, this update brings the iCloud shared photo library. So this is a pretty cool feature where now we'll basically have the ability of sharing it's kind of like almost like having an album of photos that you have. So if you kind of get into your album portion, you'll basically be able to see a full list of your albums, and you can go ahead and add photos to a shared album like this, and you can go from there. I think it's really cool. You can add people to it. You can have them add photos too. I think it's a cool touch. I don't know if I'll necessarily be the first one to go through and set it up and do things with it, but it's a cool feature. Google Photos has had this for a long time, so I'm glad we have it here too. Now, another big thing is with live activities. So now live activities shows up with third-party applications. So basically, live activities is instead of getting 40 notifications of a football game of when somebody scored a touchdown or whatever, applications can now utilize live activities. So it'll show you one constant notification like right here, and it'll just keep updating itself. And it's in real time, and it actually looks really nice. It looks way better than a standard notification. So if applications do it right, you'll basically have that ability now, which is really cool. So you'll see like live, sports stuff, not live sports, but live like scores and all that stuff too, where if an Uber's picking you up, it'll tell you in real time where it's at. Really cool stuff. Now, another cool thing is with reachability for dynamic island. So the iPhone 11 doesn't have a dynamic island, but still, it's really cool to note that if you plan on buying a 14 Pro, you will now have reachability with the dynamic island support, so you can use a dynamic island as of that point. Now, finally, another very interesting thing is actually a new battery charging option. So if we make our way over to our settings, we click on battery, and we go and click on battery health and charging, we basically have this, and for some reason not showing up on mine, which is very, very weird, even though I am currently on iOS 16.1, as you are able to tell. So I'm not too sure why my iPhone 11 doesn't have it, which is very, very weird. As you can see, I'm clicking here, I'm clicking here. I don't have clean energy charging, but my iPhone XR does have charging, that option, so it's probably a glitch, and it's probably going to come into my iPhone 11 at some point. But my iPhone XR does have this clean energy option charging, so that's really, really cool, and you do have that capability here. I'm going to keep a close eye on this specific version though, and see why it's not showing up on the iPhone 11, because if it doesn't show up on the iPhone 11 but it shows up on the iPhone XR, it's very, very weird. But I guess we'll see what happens in the future. Now the question is, should you install iOS 16.1? I would say if you're currently on iOS 16, 1,000,000%, please update to 16.1. It is going to be the most stable version of iOS for the time being, and it probably makes more sense to install this than any other version. But if you're on iOS 15, I still would kind of recommend staying there. But I have said so many times that once 16.1 comes out, you can go and update to it. If you can wait out a few days, then you'll be perfectly fine. But if not, then the world's your oyster. You can go and update if you want to, but that kind of covers it up. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.